Imagine it's summertime, you just got done eating dinner and you're craving something sweet. What is the first thing that you would reach for dessert? Would it be ice cream, cake, chocolate, or brownies? Would you ever consider sitting down to make a fresh strawberry pie? It is easy to make, it requires few ingredients, minimal work, and very little experience either. My name is Natalie and I made my first strawberry pie in the summer of 2020. I had just gotten back from picking over 2 pounds worth of strawberries with my mom at a local farm. With the 2 pounds of strawberries, we had no idea what to make with them, so we sat down and grabbed one of her old cookbooks out of the cupboard. It was a 1997 Better Homes and Garden cookbook, and we found this strawberry pie recipe that we've been making the recipe with ever since. We've tweaked the recipe over the years to make it our own, incorporating other recipes from allrecipes.com or also from Betty Crocker and making it our own delicious recipe. Today we will be learning how to make a fresh strawberry pie, as it is very rewarding. We will go over the steps on how to make it, the different utensils you need, and also all the ingredients you'll need to gather beforehand. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we are going to do is gather all of our ingredients and utensils before you start baking. It's important to have everything at your disposal just so you know you have everything you'll need before you get started. So the first things you're going to grab for your utensils, you will need 3 medium-sized bowls, 1 for preparing the graham cracker crust, 1 for the cream cheese layer, and then 1 for your strawberry layer. Then you will need a 9x9 glass dish. I prefer about this size and this thick, just so you have a nice thick and even pan with a good hearty piece of pie. Next, you will need a strawberry masher to mash your fresh strawberries. It'll look like this, but if you don't have a masher just like this, a regular fork will do just fine. You will need a strainer to wash your berries, a spatula, and then lastly, you will need a small saucepan to make the strawberry glaze. Now that we have all of our baking utensils, we'll move on to all of the ingredients you'll need to make your pie. So I use a combination of recipes. The first recipe, the one that I mainly go off of, is from this Better Homes and Garden cookbook, the 1997 version that we had originally found. For all of your ingredients, you will need 1.5 quarts of strawberries. You will need 1 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons cornstarch, 1/2 cup water, a package of cream cheese, 1 sleeve of graham crackers. This can be the original flavor or chocolate, whichever you prefer. 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and lastly, a 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon. Now that we have all of our ingredients and utensils out of the way, we can go ahead with the baking process and start making the layers. We break the pie into 2 separate parts. We have the crust layers and then we have the strawberry layers. So we're going to go ahead and start with the graham cracker crust. I like to incorporate a recipe from allrecipes.com. I think it is a little bit less sweet and adds a nice flavor. So first, what you will do is you will take the sleeve of graham crackers and you will smash it into a powder. And then you will mix the graham cracker powder with the cinnamon from the recipe and then also with your melted butter. You'll combine that in a bowl, and then once that is all even, you will press it into the bottom of the 9x9 pan. And then a quick quote from allrecipes.com. The pinch of cinnamon is optional, but it adds pleasant flavor and warmth. So again, it's all up to you if you want to add the cinnamon or if you don't have cinnamon on disposal, but it does add a nice extra kick to the recipe. So now that you have your graham cracker crust in the bottom of the 9x9 pan, we will move on to the cream cheese layer. You will take another medium-sized bowl and you will put your cream cheese block in the center of the bowl and then microwave it for 45 seconds, just so it's nice and smooth and able to spread. And then a personal quote for me, you can also incorporate sour cream and vanilla into your cream cheese mixture, just so it gives it a nice smooth texture and also balances out the harsh flavor from the cream cheese. Once your cream cheese layer is all melty and smooth, you can add it on top of your graham cracker crust, although it can be a tricky step because the cream cheese likes to stick to the graham crackers and rip it apart. So make sure you're doing that step extra carefully. Now that we have the base layers of our pie ready, we can move on to the strawberry layer. Another personal quote I like to use, hand-picked strawberries like ones from a local farm. I think they are sweeter, juicier, and it gives the pie a more beautiful red color. However, if you do not have any fresh strawberries at your disposal, any strawberries will do, even the ones from the store. The first batch of strawberries that we will use will go towards a strawberry glaze that will be poured on top of the cake, or pie rather. I like to utilize a Betty Crocker recipe as I think it is less thick and is also more sweet than the Better Homes and Gardens recipe. First, you will take half of your strawberries and you will rinse and dry them. You will hand mash enough berries so you have 1 cup of mashed berries. You will take the mashed berries with the sugar and then also the cornstarch, and you will add it into a saucepan and turn on it with medium heat. You'll gradually add in your water until the glaze becomes viscous. A quote from Betty Crocker: "Stir constantly until mixture thickens and boils. Boil 1 minute and then cool." A quick tip: don't overboil or add too much cornstarch as it will make the glaze very thick like a jello, but we want it more like a jelly consistency. All remaining strawberries will go on top of the pie on the cream cheese layer. You can wash and cut them in half and then place them on top of the cream cheese. And then now we can put all of the pie together. Once your glaze has cooled, you can pour it on top of your strawberries and the base layer of the pie. And a quick Better Homes and Gardens quote: "Refrigerate the pie 3 hours or until set. Refrigerate any remaining pie." Another quick thing that you can add is that any ingredient you are able to omit or you can adjust. Personally, I like to omit some sugar. I like to cut down on the levels just to make sure it's less sweet. And then you can also add in your own personal preferences, such as you can omit the cinnamon sugar or you can add chocolate graham crackers. That way it is personalized to your own very taste. In conclusion, making a strawberry pie is very satisfying and it yields tasty results. It involves preparation, including gathering all of your ingredients and utensils. While we utilize many different recipes, this tutorial is an easy way to make a delicious summery treat that you will be able to share with all your friends and family.